Welcome back. It's a game that's growing in popularity around the world, but here in Canada, it's slow to catch on. Here from Australia is professional lawn bowling coach Lachlan Tighe. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks,
now, you're tasked with reviving lawn bowling here in Canada. Is that a tough job?
I'm sure it is, but it's an enjoyable challenge.
Okay. Why is it so unpopular here in Canada?
Canada, although it's had bowls a long time, it probably has a difficulty that the climate doesn't allow it to go all year round, which is the case in Australia. But as one of my contemporaries said, we're the outside version of curling, and given how curling has done so well, why shouldn't we double tag with curling and be the outside version of curling and all its successes? So
how do you actually play lawn bowling? Is it difficult?
No. You, as we see on the screen there, you just bowl or hurl a bowl up towards a white target. And the beauty is that people from 8 to 80 can play. Ryan Bester is a Canadian who won the World Championships a handful of years ago. He started when he was a young sprog. There was a gentleman at the last Commonwealth Games in Delhi, 72 years of age, his 5th Commonwealth Games.
Wow.
But because of its ease of playing, anyone, male, female, can play the game, as I said, from 8 to 80. And certainly back home in Australia.
I was just going to say, how fit do you have to be to play?
Not really fit, but certainly at my level, I want them to be toned to be able to contest for days on end.
So how did you get involved in this sport then?
Much to my wife's surprise, by accident. But I'd played ball sport all my life, and just continued on.
Okay, so what's the first thing that somebody should know before they head into, to do this sport? How can they sort of get involved?
If they went to the Ontario Lawn Bowls website, that would list all the clubs and they'd have contact details. Bowls Canada has a website, and certainly in this day and age, internet, they could just hit bowls and then discover where it is in context of where they live. The clubs, much to everyone's glee, has coaches who help raw beginners. And after that, with a lot of luck, their fraternity will encourage and foster them to continue to play.
Now, how popular is this sport in Australia? I heard that many of the players, the top players, are sort of seen as idols almost. They're superstars.
The Australian players squad are all under 35, with one exception. They're all full-time bowlers, and again, I mentioned Ryan Bester, who's in Australia. They would earn anywhere from $80,000 to $150,000.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the competitions, national, international competitions? I mean, how hard do you have to work to get there?
Like any sport, at national, international level, they're working harder than the rest of the people. What I'm hopeful of doing is getting them to do it better than they used to do, because Canada is middle order when it comes to competition. I've suggested we try and aim for a target of 2 medals at the World Championships this year. Hence, I'm over here now. I shall come back in September. I'll have them for 2 weeks before the World Championships, and with a lot of luck, they'll do as well as they possibly can, which might result in 2 medals.
I was just going to say, how well has Canada done thus far?
It won 3 medals at the Asia Pacific, which is sort of the off year in between World Championships and Commonwealth Games. And that's something else about image. This sport has World Championships. We're part of the Commonwealth Games, and only 16 sports are in the Commonwealth Games. So for someone aspiring to be really good, there is the opportunity to be seen on the international scene.
All right. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for all the great information. It looks like a fun sport.
Thank you.
All right. And for more information on the sport and how you can get involved, you can visit the Ontario Lawn Bowling Association website. That's www.olba.ca.